Oh my goodness, oh my gracious. Hello and welcome, greetings one and all, to another fabulous week of Olympus Rises, where I, your host, Mankey Games. I always do that. I, your host, Jordan, aka Mankey Games, take you on a wonderful grand adventure through the stars, using the very hacked system Stars Without Number, with a lot of edits I've made myself to it. Before we get started here, I just want to thank everybody for being here today. Glad you all could. It always excites me when both all of my players, as you can see in the upper screen here, and you guys join us on this journey. I will say that when I first started recording stuff, it was mostly for me and my players to kind of have a reference, and also, you know, if anybody else wanted to enjoy. But the tremendous outpouring of input from everyone has really made this a thing that is great, and so I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. However, most importantly, I think everybody wants to know what's going on with everybody else, so I'm going to go ahead and turn on Discord here. I'm going to keep making creatures for them to fight, and you guys are going to listen to what they did all week.
I hear, like, song lyrics.
Oh.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, Jordan.
How are we all doing today?
Fantastical.
Everybody's on time. Will is not asleep. Devin is not driving in a car.
That's correct.
It's a wonderful day.
It's also kind of weird.
Presumably eating something.
Yeah, correct.
Since she's muted.
Correct. Probably, let's see, she had some honey mustard wings last night.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I would eat that.
Yeah, I would totally chow down on that right now.
You're wrong.
What?
I'm eating chocolate chip cookies, obviously.
Oh, okay. You say obviously as though we can see you stuffing your face full of chocolate chip cookies.
Actually, these chocolate chip cookies are ridiculous. I just found them at Trader Joe's. They are chocolate chip cookie sandwiches, which
Explain that.
basically means 2 tiny chocolate chip cookies with chocolate inside of them.
Okay, that's too much chocolate for me.
Like a little
How's your,
sandwich. It's amazing.
How's your diabetes going?
Yeah, like on a scale from 1 to
Matt.
insulin.
Matt, you've known me my whole life. If I don't have diabetes already, it's not gonna happen.
Yes.
Well, fantastic.
You know that's true. You know that's true.
Good.
So when we were kids,
yes.
irrespective of age difference, because it had nothing to do with that, I got to keep my Halloween candy. And I could do with it whatever I pleased, and that's because my parents knew I would still have some of it the next time Halloween came around. Meg had hers carefully rationed out to her because she couldn't be trusted.
And also, I stole your Halloween candy all the time, too.
Oh, Windows, I do not want you to update right now. How about we don't do that?
But
Yeah,
but
let's
yes,
not.
there's a reason. There's a reason why this is not necessarily surprising.
Also, how I am not 300 pounds is still curious to me. But that's fine.
I mean, some people are just lucky like that. I am
Yeah.
not one of them.
I am no longer one of them.
12 a.m.
Aw.
tomorrow.
That's
Yes.
but that's
True.
what happens when you hit 30.
Devin.
As someone who is about to turn 32, I contest that, but I empathize all the same.
Yeah.
Again,
Well, I'm not there yet, so I got a couple more good years in.
it's all about genetics.
Yeah.
All about genetics.
Well, for me, it was realizing I could eat as much bacon as I wanted if I only ate bacon.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
So-
I'm on the same boat there. Like anything meat, I'm fine, but as soon as it starts putting sugar, that's when I hit problems.
Yep. And it took me 3 decades of life to realize that I just had to not eat pasta for every meal.
Oh, pasta's
But-
so good. Yeah, Will. Exactly.
And it hurts, but you know.
Well, fantastic. Devin, what have you been doing all week?
All week, not much.
Whatever he
weekend-
wants.
This weekend, I had a car meet, which was kind of fun.
What's a car meet?
It's when you have a car and you go to a meetup with other people who have cars.
Oh, okay. That's what I think it is.
Yeah, no.
Like
There was
your
no
car is single.
alliteration there. That is exactly what it was.
Yeah. It's because I have, well, it's not a special car, but it's an odd car. It's Hyundai Veloster. A lot of people buy it, but they're odd-looking cars. People like them, and I like them, and the people that have them usually like them a lot. So there's a group of 200 and some people in the Facebook group, but then there's at least 15 or 20 that go out to every event that we set up, and we all just like, oh, nice. What do you do to your car? Oh, that's cool. How do you do that? And how
What
much
is
does
this?
that
I
cost?
wanna
And
look
can I
it
do
up.
it in my car? A Hyundai Veloster.
Is that more or less phonetic?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's basically exactly phonetic.
But yeah, it's a cool little car. It's a little 3-door thing.
Indeed. It is a nice car. I've ridden in it.
Yeah.
See, I was expecting something like way older.
No.
I was expecting it to be like a weird Hyundai DeLorean that never caught on or something like that.
Yeah, no.
Purely based on the name and my own speculation, I had this idea in my head. But
Yeah.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
No, probably not. And that's kind of all I've been doing this week. I didn't do a whole lot. Oh, that's a lie. Hold on, I have to ask because it is very important.
Uh-huh.
Does anybody watch Sense8 on Netflix?
I
Do you know
don't
what that
even
show
what
is on
is.
Netflix? Oh my god.
Wait,
You gotta
is
go
this the
watch.
one with like the people who?
Is this the one with the people, Devin?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was kidding.
Oh, I know that
There's,
one.
there's actually
Shut up.
there's actually 8 people.
Yeah, right? Do they have
They-
senses?
all their stories are intertwined and they have some weird powers.
Do they-
and
yeah,
do they have
know
senses?
How they're connected. They have like the same birthday or something weird, right?
They all connect telepathically,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
only
yeah.
to each other. But it's more than just like a telepathic connection. It's from the Wachowski brothers, who I guess are now the Wachowski siblings. The people who wrote The Matrix. It's another one of their ideas, but it's amazing. And season 2 just came out on Friday.
did they, and I mean this completely earnestly, did they both transition or was it just one?
Just
Because I
one,
seem to remember. Okay.
I think.
I wasn't sure what. All right.
I was
Just
unaware that
curious,
was even a
just
thing,
curious.
so...
Yeah, one of.
Consider-
Yeah,
one
no,
of them-
I was aware of that, but I didn't catch on as to that's why the name changed. Which I guess, of course,
Yeah.
that is. But yeah, that makes sense. That connection now.
Continuing to call them the Wachowski Bros is a
Right,
little
is
insensitive to that.
100%. That makes total sense now. Yep. Because I read those two things separately, and now I understand.
So, but the show's amazing, and everyone should go watch it.
See, here I was in my shelter hood trying to figure out how they went from brothers to siblings for like 30 seconds until I actually realized what you guys were
Well,
talking
you
about. I was
see,
like,
Jordan.
oh, it makes sense now. I get
There's
it.
this thing that people
Yeah,
can
I
do.
get it.
Sometimes people feel as if they're born into the wrong body.
Yeah, no, that's totally legitimate.
Yeah.
I certainly don't, but hey, you can think whatever you want to think. I'm not going to stop you or care.
Yep.
So,
But yeah, everyone should go watch the show, and it's awesome.
Sense8, huh?
Sense8. Yep.
Okay. I will add it to my list of shows that I will probably never watch. But I
Okay.
have a list at least. It's kind of like the Rick and Morty train for me. Actually, all of the like big popular shows
wait.
for me, I always watch
Hang
like
on.
super late.
Have you still not watched Rick and Morty?
No, I've seen all of it now.
Oh,
But it
Jesus
used to be
Christ,
on that
okay.
list.
I still
You
haven't
almost
seen
gave
all
me
of Rick
a
and Morty.
heart attack.
That used to be on the list, as well as things that are currently still on that list: Walking Dead, Breaking Bad.
Don't bother. Don't bother with
Yeah, you
Walking
can
Dead.
skip those.
Walking Dead, watch for the first 2 seasons and then give up on it.
Yes, that I agree with. That statement I agree with.
Other things on that list are
Read the comics and you'll enjoy it more.
True. Except don't read the comics when you're like, well, you're past that. Never mind.
I kind of want to know what it was now.
Yeah, me
That
too.
sounds interesting.
I'm a little curious.
Nope, never mind.
Will,
Hello.
good morning.
Good evening.
True.
So, Will, how has your week been?
My week's been alright. It was a glorious day today, so we all went to the beach this afternoon, which was cool.
You know, I think most people who are uncultured just assume that there's just cliffs that drop off into the water and you guys don't have any beaches in Britain, but I obviously know that is untrue. Have you ever been to any beaches anywhere else? Like outside of your home country?
Yeah, I've been to a Japanese beach, which was awesome.
If you had to compare the two.
The water's a lot warmer in summertime Japan.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That's because of
assume
that
is
nuclear
true.
reactor.
So speaking
yeah,
of
it
that,
has a nice glow
the
after I was
Oh,
in
one of
Yeah.
the,
shit.
one of the
Not real
funniest things
shiny.
I saw the other day was it had a map of the world, and everything was grayed out except for Japan. And it said countries who produce anime. And then it had another map of the world next to it, and everything was grayed out except for Japan. It says countries
Yep.
that have been hit by a nuclear explosion.
Yeah.
We here would like to apologize to any of our Japanese listeners around the world. That was insensitive, but also hilarious. So get over it. Anyway, that's good, Will. I'm glad you got out. Did you immediately ignite into flames, or did that come after about 30 minutes or so?
No.
Seeing the sunshine.
I had to have an inch-thick amount of
Yeah.
sunscreen.
The SPF 1000, yeah?
Yeah, just to stop myself from bursting into flames.
It's like literally like putting plastic over your skin.
Listen, I know Meg and I both share that plight, so
Mhm. Yep. 100%.
I don't know what it is in my genetics, but I will burn. But I don't peel, and I got it from my mother because she also burns, but doesn't peel. Our skin doesn't flake off. It just like settles into the layers of our skin, and we become more tan from getting sunburn. So it's very strange.
I just don't become tanned, so...
Right. Sure. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Well, that's
Which is
fantastic.
good because, you know, the pure white of my skin helps exude this royal authority.
Yeah,
Wait,
no,
I
I've
was gonna say, are you allowed to get tan?
I was gonna say I've seen pictures.
Yeah, I usually have to walk like a Victorian woman with a
Right,
umbrella
with the
around
parasol, right?
Yeah, and
it's so the royal guards can locate him under
in a
moonlight.
in a crowd, right? Like just
Like
easily
if he ever gets
identifiable.
lost at night, they can just see him plain as day, reflecting every
Yeah, totally.
It's like glitters.
Also-
photon of.
The last thing you would want to do is be confused for one of those pirates that sails the seven seas and has glorious skin tans.
Because I'm shiny.
Let's not do that again.
Cue Ocarina solo.
Please.
Oh my god, it's like that triangle solo comic. Have you guys seen that one? Yeah, there it is. Good.
Nice,
Fantastic.
nice.
Excellent.
Ready to go.
Megan, hi, hello.
Hi, hello.
How have you been? What's your week been like? Tell us all about it.
My week's been rather busy, but nothing really interesting to talk about, I guess. I played a bunch of Divinity yesterday, and
Yeah, like 8 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, to be exact. That's really about it. Not a whole lot to report from me. Oh, I played a lot of Puzzles and Dragons too, because my brother is the pusher. And that's about it.
Is that a minute anymore?
Yep, 100%.
So, you want to hear the best thing about Puzzles and Dragons? I
haven't
played
played in a week?
I played for a day, and then I finally broke down and downloaded Fire Emblem Heroes because people were still posting about it. And that game is incredible, and I don't think I'll play any other mobile game ever in my entire life. So, sorry, Puzzles.
That's fine.
But I suggest that everybody goes and checks it out, because it's a lot of fun, and is the absolute best free-to-play mobile game I have ever played in my life.
Is it...
Have you ever played Fire Emblem?
I'm looking at... No, I haven't. I remember in our last campaign... God, what's his name?
Mario?
One of the guys Mario used to play it like all the time.
So Fire Emblem has been out for a very long time. It's been out for, maybe, I want to say 20 years or so.
Something like that, yeah.
It's one of the oldest franchises in Nintendo, the Nintendoverse. And it is very simple. It is a tactical grid-based game where you move units. It uses a weapon triangle where swords are good against axes, are good against spears, are good against swords. It has very, kind of minimal level magic where it has the same type of triangle, right? Where it's fire is good against... what is it? It's fire is good against... Wind is good against lightning, is good against fire. I think that's how it goes. And... yeah.
Jordan, we need to talk about what constitutes a triangle and what constitutes squares.
No,
Because you listed 4 things and
No.
a triangle that does not.
No, I didn't.
Pretty sure he listed 3 things.
No.
I thought it was
both times I listed 3 things.
Okay, I swear.
Yeah, there are 2 separate triangles. There is one for physical and one for magical.
I'm gonna go back and listen to the VOD.
Okay, go for it. But yeah, no, it becomes complex in the decision making, because in the original games, in the games that you play on the handheld or the PlayStation or wherever you're playing them on, there's permadeath. If your character goes to 0 hit points, they are dead. You never get them back. They are dead forever. And it's one of the first games that actually did that and had a story tied with it. And one of the greatest things about the games is how long they can be. They packed 30 hours in the original Fire Emblem at least, and that's just playing through the story mode at a reasonable clip. And something like I think there's 43 individual characters, all with individual storylines throughout the game. It's seen as one of the deepest kind of story-based tactical games that exists. And so they made this free version, and it is basically exactly the game, but scaled down a little bit. Instead of being able to have 12 units or whatever on the field, you can only have 4, and you have to choose your 4, and it's the standard, you get this item that then allows you to summon these dudes, and then the dudes you can then level up and then add bonuses to, a la normal mobile games. But you're not required to really farm anything. You can kind of just play. It's not one of those games that has in some mobile games you have perhaps 20 stamina, and you can only do maybe 10 things, and then you're done for the day because it takes so long. You have 99 stamina in this game, and I've only ever depleted it once, and that was on a quest of me lying in bed for an hour and a half, constantly playing the game. And then all of a sudden I ran out of stamina. I was like, oh shit. Well, it's been an hour and a half that I've been on my phone, so that seems pretty reasonable. So yeah, it's basically just something you can do at all points in time.
So hey.
Yeah.
Jordan, completely unrelated, but I might be pretty quiet this session. Has nothing to do with this game, or that I just downloaded it.
Okay.
It's completely unrelated. Completely.
Okay.
fully separate reason.
So now I know that if I ever find a good mobile game, I just need to tell Matt about it, and he'll just become hooked.
No, I'm just joking.
No, but it is really
get
good.
To do this once a week. I'm going to be fully invested.
If you like positional tactical strategy games, and you like seeing amazingly adorable anime characters kill each other with swords and spears and axes and magic, then I would suggest it being for you. Also, it appears the encoding overloaded. It's no problem. It's back. It's fine. Just having some issues here on the old computer.
Encoding overloaded.
Yeah, my computer's been having some minor issues lately, and I'm not really sure what it's for, but it's fine. Local recording. It's an amazing thing.
Hello,
Anyway.
YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Megan, hi, hello.
I already went.
You did, Meg, you jerk.
Oh, yeah.
You skipped
Matt,
me.
hi, hello.
I mean, I know you just want to talk to me again, but I mean, it's fine. You
It's
know?
true.
It's
It's true.
not gonna-
Actually, I just wanted your chocolate chip cookies.
Well, not gonna happen.
Matt, hi, hello.
Hello.
What have you been doing for the past week, sir?
Just a lot of stuff in lab. Had a new postdoc start. We have some people coming back. We actually have a person who was previously a postdoc in our lab who then went to Thailand to start her own. She's back for a couple of months to do some stuff. It's
Wait, is that
busy.
wait, what's her name? Why can't I remember her name? It's something adorable.
We're not going to mention any specific names
Tell me
on
later.
stream out of
Yes,
courtesy.
it's fine.
But
Tell
yes.
me later.
So we
Because you're still currently in the program right now, right?
Yeah. So I'm hoping to, I mean, if everything goes well over the summer, it's not unreasonable to expect that I will defend in the fall, which would be amazing.
Cool.
Yeah. After that, though, I will probably. We're getting all this cool stuff, and things are finally working. So, I think I will probably be around Madison for a little while, at least after I graduate, because we're getting like a new microscope, and we're getting all this other cool shit, and there are collaborators that we're starting to work with now that I have this, this kit to do these experiments made up, and it's, I think I am hoping to at least have gotten, I'm hoping to defend in the fall, but then I think Madison is still in the immediate future after that for a while.
I see.
I also have to find a real job.
Yeah,
So,
that's
that's gonna
really
take some
where my
time.
question was going. When do you get a real job?
After I find one and save up a little bit of money for like a down payment on a house.
Got it.
So there's that also. Because if I continue, I've been, we get enough to live on as grad students. It's not bad, but if I maintain if I don't go completely nuts after I start making more, and I just put that all away, could manage to save up a fair amount and feel pretty comfortable moving. I've got plans. I don't know if they're good plans, but I do have plans.
I mean, no plan is truly good, if we're being honest.
You prove that to us every week.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Which is exactly my segue, since I
welcome.
spoke
You're
a
welcome.
lot. into no
Here, we're gonna do
plans. Yes, we should do that since we didn't do that last week. No plan survives contact with the GM, I think is the correct term here. So we do need to get to goals, which is important. I am stalling for time currently because my computer is deciding that now is the immediate moment that it wants to have these weird hangups. Tried updating my video drivers. I'm not really sure. I feel like it's a software issue somewhere. Because all of you can still hear me fine, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
no problem. Everybody still hears me fine. It's not an internet issue, but like my browsers won't like navigate correctly. My PDFs won't scroll down. Everything kind of hangs up a little bit and kind of stutters.
Oh, the stream is down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stream's totally down. Totally do right. Right now, and it kind of just like looks around and gazes into the aether, and like it has processes running, and it's like, oh, this is a thing I'm supposed to do. Okay, let me dedicate all of my resources to that, and then it's like nothing else works. Then eventually, it's the medicine kicks in, and it decides, oh right, I'm a computer, and I'm supposed to do all these things that I was built to do.
There's no medicine that helps. But yes,
I mean, there's medicine that abates.
not really.
I mean, knowing someone who specifically has a live-in that it does help. It does not cure or solve anything, but it at least helps. Are we good? Hey, good. Everything's back. Awesome, fantastic. I was just trying to input this creature into the database real quick before we did anything else, because it's going to be important later, I'm sure.
That's honest.
But
fun with that, guys.
yeah, Fortune's actually just leaving.
I'm no longer associated with this crew.
Yep.
So Fortune starts the new arc with the new crew.
Yeah, let's talk. The new arc is actually all of you. I need you doing me Claris mercenaries, and you're gonna go hunt yourselves down.
That would be actually freaking amazing.
That would be kind of cool.
That would be freaking awesome, actually.
Let's all just accept that we're dead.
Let's just
we'll see.
move on.
The best part is this is how I get Matt. He has all of these plans and all of these these things that he wants to bring to fruition, and all these side quests that he wants to complete. And then I'm just gonna be like, okay, Matt, now make a character and hunt yourself. And then Matt's brain creates this black hole of matter and antimatter colliding, and everything explodes into the universe because he doesn't know how to do that.
You underestimate me.
How can you both fight yourself and be yourself, Matt?
I would have a grand old time doing that.
That sounds like something's gonna end up broken.
I'm obviously just kidding, but
Yeah.
it is amusing.
But my mercenary character would be so cool.
So let's talk goals. We'll start at the top. Devin, has Mr. Fortune completed any of his goals? Okay, good.
That's me, because I just had to erase 2 goals because they can no longer be goals.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Shit.
It is rough.
So now I have to come up with 2 new goals, and I don't know what they are yet. But I did level up last week.
You did indeed.
So
let's go ahead and tell us what you got for your level up, and then we'll roll some health. Okay, well, is the health.
25 HP is what I just got.
Holy crap.
That's a lot.
Wow.
Them D8s.
You are now the highest health.
Kind of as it should be, though, to be honest.
I was gonna say he better.
I am the warrior. Other than that, I don't think I got anything at level 5.
Um,
But I didn't read the book very well, so.
What you so you got three skill points, right? Because you get +1.
Yeah, 3 skill points. Yeah.
So is there
And I
anything
haven't
that
taken
you
any skills yet.
is there
because
anything
I'm-
that you know? Okay, so we're gonna hold on to those basically.
Yeah, well, because I need like way too many skill points now to get a new thing.
Yeah, true.
Save them for 6.
Yeah, because remember also at level 6 you can start getting level 3 skills,
Exactly.
which is important.
And combat projectile weapons right now is at 2, and I need to be able to kill things better.
Yep, kill things mo better is
Yeah.
I mean,
is
haven't
important.
you also got an attack bonus of 2? Yeah, because you're level 1.
That happened at level 4 for me.
Nope, 4 to 6. It's 3.
Correct. Yeah. So
Then it goes up to 5 at 7.
yeah, everybody gains at different rates. The warriors gain faster because they don't have psionics or the ability to reroll things and a whole bunch of extra skill points. So they get statistics a bit faster.
Devin, have you ever dodged an attack?
I haven't needed to yet.
Okay.
He is a sniper, so that's probably
I'm
also a
I'm
good
just
thing.
curious, because I
That-
feel like
that
that's
and-
never actually been utilized.
I do have a pretty good AC.
True.
So, I mean, I've taken hits. It's just never been
See-
something where I'm like, maybe I should
Yeah.
dodge that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's good to just remember that because that can totally be used against the hey, there's a rocket launcher that hit me and it would instantly kill me, or it hit the vehicle I was driving or something like that. And you'd be like, "Nah, I just dodged that." Those seem like the important times to do it.
Yeah, that's exact. Yeah, every time we get into a fight, I'm like, okay, when it comes down to it, I can dodge, and then I walk
Yeah.
out of the fight with like 25 hit points.
You know, now
Wow.
that there are
Okay.
Claris snipers
Yeah.
on us,
Well, maybe.
you can save your save yourself from getting instantly executed from a mile away.
Yeah.
That may be important. Who knows?
Who knows?
Might be.
Knows? Fantastic.
Yeah. So I got three skill points and 25 HP now.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Will, has Dr. Fisher gained anything or completed any goals?
Yeah. I completed the collar research.
You did complete the collar research,
That's-
which is a significant goal. It was a long time coming. It was like 10 levels. So I think that warrants a fairly big experience. I would say that gives you 500 experience for completing that quest.
Yeah. Sweet.
Fantastic. Any other goals for Dr. Fisher?
No, not yet.
Okay, so you have a blank one as well that you can fill in with whatever you feel necessary, which, we have some options now. Fantastic. Megan, has Gogo completed any of her goals?
No.
No goals for Megan? Or for Gogo?
Considering all 3 of them are the same thing and they probably will never be accomplished.
You never know.
Okay. Alright.
We may roll crit 20s on all of our rolls this entire session, and everything will. Right.
Yeah, no, I'm
Well-
sure
Well,
everything's
now,
going to be
now
fine.
we won't. Thanks.
Yeah, no, I'm certain everything's going to be fine.
I appreciate your optimism.
It's never fine when the GM says it's gonna be fine.
Yes, indeed. Matt, has
Yep.
Oscar completed any goals?
Training.
Training, indeed. You have completed your training task.
And that was quite the runaround to eventually get that.
I mean, it wasn't particularly hard, but yes, indeed, there was
I had
some effort
for-
input into that, and you've had it
Yes.
for a while. Yes, as well. Do you know how many weeks you've had it?
Not so many that it would be worth trying to go back and check. But
Okay.
That's something that I've been
All right,
trying.
I was
to do.
I was going to grant you. I think
It was more than one level. I'll put it at that. So it's been quite some time.
Yeah, I think that 300 experience is probably a reasonable
That sounds fine to me.
reasonable amount to give you for that.
The obvious replacement for that is Aiden Chan's resurrection.
Yeah, right, sure. And I'm sure that will everyone who has a blank spot or doesn't already have that in their goals, which I'm sure somebody might. I'm sure we'll come to that because it seems like the next logical conclusion. Although there are complications, obviously now.
Complications just
That
mean
only
more
one
XP.
person knows about.
Yeah, that only one person knows about, and I actually thought more about it as well, kind of in the midterm, because it was a thing that I was wanting to bring up for a while now. Was just looking for a prime opportunity because it's been something that's been in the works for quite some time. I think there is, Fortune, and this is where we get into it a little bit here. I think there is one additional piece of information that you acquire from the photograph that you have.
Okay.
It's probably at the very top and very small, and so maybe you don't notice it immediately, right? Maybe, like, you just saw the pictures and you're like, fuck. But then you go back and you look through. You can see a couple of the names on the distribution list.
Okay.
Or more, they're not names, but a couple of ID signatures, right?
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't use a name, they would use an ID signature, but you, as a member of the group, could access, like, the back end and figure out who those ID numbers match up with.
Yeah.
It would require you probably finding, like, a hard-coded hub, and you also probably don't want to do it, like, knowing what you know now. Like, or you don't want to do it, like, brazenly from your own compad, perhaps.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you do anything from your personal stuff, it may, people who are more adept at perhaps the tracking than you specifically are, they may have an easier time finding you through digital webways. Because the Claris group obviously spans quite a large range of skills and talents and abilities, right? They hire the best, they employ the best of the best at everything.
Yeah.
But you have, I think that you can see 3 of the ID numbers clearly enough, and then there is a 4th ID signature that you don't, that is, like, blurred out, or maybe, like, the picture was moving, like, he was, you know, obviously he was taken in a rush, so, like, the 4th name, you know there's a 4th individual that was on the distribution list, but you can't quite make out what the ID signature is.
Well, I can bet one of them isn't Chains.
Yes.
Aww,
Yeah.
Rip Chains.
Yeah. One of the best NPCs I ever created, and he died, like, the same session. It was great.
Almost.
It was great. So, that's the other piece of information that you have from that. But I think that most importantly, what we should start with is what I'm sure Will has been racking his brain as to how he's going to explain everything, because we kind of faded to black on a interrogation session where I think kind of rightfully so, but, you know, there are complications. Oscar and Gogo realized they didn't have all of the information, or at least the accurate information from Dr. Fisher.
That second phrasing is much closer, because I feel Oscar was given certain details that more than danced around this.
In this
Yeah.
I agree with you, but I have
Yeah.
I have to walk the gray area line where, you know,
I just, for the
record.
sake of establishing the scene, Oscar feels like he has been misled to some extent.
Yeah, totally. So I think that it is fair to give Dr. Fisher the floor here to figure out how he is going to mount his defense. Now, Will, did you do your homework on this and figure out how you're going to word this, or are we just flying by the seat of Dr. Fisher's pants? Quite literally.
He may be flying shortly.
Right, yeah, no, totally.
Yeah,
by the seat of
I
his
think
pants. Yeah,
that's
totally.
better way. Because, as I said last week, the best made plans of mice and men.
Mm-hmm. So what would Dr. Fisher like when it becomes apparent to you, Dr. Fisher, that you're gonna have to own up to perhaps a little bit more than you let on at first, at least as many details as you are aware of. What's your opening statement, right? If this is a courtroom, what's Dr. Fisher's opening statement?
All hope is not lost.
Okay, good.
I think that's a pretty good opening statement.
Okay, yeah. So we zoom back in on the scene in this. You guys were in like a long term or like a short term stay motel style residence, right? So like your door leads to the outside where there's like there's some facilities. There's probably like a diner, but it's not like it's not like a hotel. You're not like on upper floors. You're not your rooms aren't like being cleaned. It's one of those extended stay places, but TL4, so it's actually, the qualities of life are still better than what they are today. And we
the
see
sheets are clean. There's no weird stains on the walls.
Right, yeah, it's not a trashy place, because again, in fact, everything in here is immaculate, right? Because you're on Eurypylos, where everything is immaculate.
Which we will use to our advantage shortly.
Correct. So Dr. Fisher opens up with "All hope is not lost," and I think ensuing scene follows as.
It is true that a fail-safe plan certainly is not achievable, but there are various methods we could take.
Fisher.
Yes, Oscar.
We are here because you told us this was the surefire way. Do you remember telling us that this was certain if we could get the medication?
I don't believe I used the word certain. I certainly said that the chances were certainly higher than any other unknown methods.
Perhaps our timelines have diverged, but I recall you said if you could get him to Eurypylos, you could save him. We will have to agree to disagree on this fact for the sake of moving forward with our plan, yes?
I think that would be wise.
Good.
Sheepishly look at Gogo.
Yeah, and like maybe he's looking. Oscar's like looking over to the claws.
Right, because
slowly
Gogo, you're
extending.
even more lost than you normally are in this situation.
Oh, 100. I'm listening intently to what is going on here, and I am not hearing the answers that I want. And I am just standing there fuming, trying really hard not to throttle the individual who I know is still the only individual who can save him. So,
Yeah.
that is my current state of mind.
So, yeah, Oscar says, Fisher, I am only as useful to you as I need correct information. I need you to be honest with me about the challenges that we may face here, if I'm to be of any help to you whatsoever. Do you understand that? This is not the time to mince words.
Yes, I believe you two are owed that much. Then, let me proceed. What we need is to get in contact with, I shall just say it, the zombies.
Excuse you? I'm sorry. I must have misheard. Can you say that one more time?
Yeah, you might use the term metahuman.
Yeah.
That is probably the more appropriate term.
Rewind.
Yeah. I think the reaction is still the same.
Yeah. We need to get in contact with the metahumans on this planet.
And by metahuman, you mean...
afflicted.
Yes.
That would be accurate, yes.
Cut the bullshit, you two. What are we talking about here?
This is me cutting the bullshit. Go.
The ancient stories, you could say they are similar to the ghouls of old.
You're kidding, right? You're kidding.
I'm afraid not. This is one of the highest kept secrets on Pylos. Just telling outsiders, I will be hung, drawn, and quartered without a moment's notice.
And this is your big plan.
What do we need from them? Do you even know what we need from them?
These metahumans, it seems, can change regular people into the inflicted by process of a bite. And should it just be a superficial bite, then the changes may occur. Therefore, we need to either make contact with one of the more peaceful factions, or somehow incapacitate one and force a superficial bite of our own volition.
Yeah, and you would know transference is most likely through saliva, right? Like, it's not necessarily like the bite; it's the body fluid exchange.
Yeah.
But it is based in the mouth, just so everyone knows.
Biting is the
Yeah.
only kind of direct method that has been observed. Nobody else has been stupid enough to, say, try and kiss me.
Will, I actually have a question. In the original 5-page conversation that we had about this, I think I gave you a hint as to the original source of this, right? I think I gave you like a very vague what you knew about it hint to the original source.
I've most definitely forgotten.
Okay, so the other thing that you know, Dr. Fisher, is there is an original source. There is a place or a thing or an item or an animal, maybe. There is something that started this chain reaction of events. And you do know that these metahumans revere that person, place, or thing. But you're not sure exactly what it is, because, again, contact with them is punishable by death. They have no communication. In order to get, like, in contact with the resistances that they have is not particularly easy, because it's kind of an all-out war, right? They're more likely to turn you and force you to be on their side than anything else. And once that happens, it's kind of...
Yeah, I would probably add as a third point. Or we somehow find the creature or thing that caused this affliction to them in the first place, but they seem to revere it in...
It. Do you know what it is? Do you have any ideas what it is?
You can have theories if you want, but I'm not going to tell you if they're right or wrong. This is your life project, so I mean, maybe you have a theory. I don't know.
One theory is that it's some sort of beast, almost. Some say of the devil wolf that prowls around these lands, and that was the cause of the first affliction. But in the end, these are merely stories that were told. So there is no evidence of what this thing is, but the existence of it is probably true.
Probably.
Whether it's still around is another matter. Third option, I don't think would be the most easiest stuff.
We have come this far. Do share.
No, I think he's saying that is the third option.
Oh.
Figuring out the source of this and doing
the way
it
that it was phrased.
Yeah.
I mentally I was lumping make contact and capture one into the same thing.
Right. No, I think those are two very separate options.
Okay. He definitely doesn't say that last thing. We certainly can't go chasing fairy tales if this isn't concrete information. Yeah, we just don't have the time to spare.
Well, time, we still have a week at least, and we can still spend more capital to extend that time, so... But
the longer we spend here, the more attention we're going to attract.
Of course, I completely agree. But...
Time is... I'm using it as a very broad term in that sense. It's not just money. People start asking questions. This whole thing could come down on our heads. I don't have to tell you that, though.
Indeed. I am the one that has the greatest weight above my head at this exact moment.
So where do we go?
Is there any comment from Gogo at this point?
Yeah.
Hold, stop. Pause. If I get this straight, we brought Chan here for my belief that he was getting some marginal, maybe outskirts, medical attention. You're a doctor? I assumed that's what was occurring here. Now you're telling me that his best chance is some freaky bite from some weird metahuman? You're serious? This is the plan?
Gogo, you have some degree of medical training. Look at the wound in Chan's head. Do you honestly believe that any simple medical practice could save him from that?
No, and that's why I thought we were coming here.
We can still save him, but as I said, he may not be the same.
Yeah, you know, your definition of that and my definition of that are apparently very different.
Okay.
So...
Yeah, go ahead.
And you seem to be okay with this. Turning to Oscar. You clearly knew more than I did.
I knew that it was a medical treatment, and he looks back to Fisher, says, "Excuse me, we're going to disagree again on what I knew, but I assumed it was a medical treatment involving MES. That sounded very much on the up and up to me.
I believe I made it clear that this was definitely not on the up and up. I digress. As
I went into this expecting that we would have to sneak in someplace with a cold body, perform a procedure, and leave. At no point in our conversation previously was a bite mentioned. Least of all, from a borderline, if not fully feral metahuman. Would you agree with that?
I mean, I don't think you should. And the only reason I say that is he didn't tell you specifically what these things were, like what it would turn him into.
Yeah, out of character. However, he said that what was said was there was an accident. Some portion of the population was treated and contained being the operative word. They don't appear to be any longer.
I mean, they're contained to the planet.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just... I'm repeating and explaining my interpretation here.
If you haven't got it
At
already,
no
everything
point-
I've said has been.
Yeah. No, totally.
I'm just saying, like,
I understand.
that is
Freaking Bob
what
Ross with your
that is what
brush
he
strokes, goddamn.
believed.
That's just a happy
Like-
little accident.
Yeah. It was fully Oscar's impression that we had to get in, like, find the original equipment or whatever it was that did this to those people, use it on Chan, and then jet.
Yeah, no, sure, seems like a reasonable option.
Yeah.
Still.
That is somewhat divergent from...
Yeah, it's just the
This
wear. It's just the wear
description.
portion, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not a big detail.
So I forget what we were even speaking of, where we were in character.
Gogo was accusing you of knowing more than you let on.
Okay. So he turns to Gogo and he says, "I thought that this would be an in and out deal, no different than anything we've done before. Had no idea that we would need to physically make contact, let alone capture one of these afflicted. I don't see that the plan is any different, even if Fisher has danced around some of the juicier details. We're
Also,
here.
Can you, as I've said, just by you knowing this information, I shall receive a punishment so painful, and yet you accuse me for using these broad terms lightly. But
Fisher,
I digress.
details are extremely important in my particular line of work. I
but
appreciate the consequences. However, understand that this may full well blow up in our faces. It'd be likelier to, even, for every broad stroke you paint for me.
I believe that the situation is still manageable. It is. We have still got in. We need to perform the procedure, and then we have to sneak out. Those were the broad terms which I gave.
Don't get me
This is-
wrong. I believe we still have a good chance at doing this also, now that you're being straight with me. As you said, we're here. We know what needs to be done. Now, how do we do it? Where are these ferals located?
That I can find out with the information broker in this city, provided I have a few extra credits.
Physical meeting?
I probably wouldn't want to risk that with the type of information we are dealing with. But it may be unavoidable, but that would still be something I would handle myself, as any of you knowing that information would cause even more suspicion than me requiring it.
You realize, after the conversation that we just had, how suspect this sounds to me. Are you certain you don't wish simply to pre-screen what we're allowed to know?
I'm saying that if any of you were to ask where these metahumans are, that's obvious that you know of that information, and therefore it would become an entirely huge issue that would not be able to be contained.
If they're willing to sell the information, why make that distinction? How do we know that they're even going to tell us the truth?
I, at least, as I grew up on this planet, I already know of this secret, so therefore they would be more willing to part with it. And the information itself isn't too strange for general people. For the ice miners, they sometimes would ask for that information to try to avoid certain high violence.
Through official channels? Or do you mean to tell me that ice brokers use illegal information brokers to acquire information?
The information wouldn't be that readily available through official means.
It's kind of like the shadow that nobody talks about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Will has mentioned too, the government actively tries to keep it under wraps, even from its own people. Which means that they would not be willing to admit to an ice miner that a problem even exists. Everything's fine. It's the dog in the house that's burning down. So yeah, the answer to that question is yes. Ice brokers or ice miners may go through information brokers to find out where last sightings were seen and avoid those areas.
That probably sounds like ice miners talking to other ice miners to find out where they were having problems.
Right, exactly. And that's probably where a lot of the information... The people who work on the fringes are the most commonly affected by this. And so, yeah, it's one of those, it's that myth, There are definitely people on the planet who have no idea that this is a thing, but they probably heard a fairy tale one time that talked about something like this, like they'll come get you in the night kind of thing. Little do they know it's actually real.
All right. So he says, whatever we're to do, we should get on with it.
Okay. I think that's a great place to flash over to our separated party member.